Now, I'm sure many of you are familiar with the classic con game Three-Card Monte. It's been played all over the world. In fact, it even dates back to roughly around the turn of the 15th century, maybe even a little bit before that. But over the years, people have become very educated on the fact that at its core, it's a scam, it's a hustle. So these con artists, over the years, they had to adapt and change the way that they play the game to help to try to disguise the fact that really you're playing Three-Card Monte. So now instead of mixing the cards on the table, everything is done in the hands. And if you notice, instead of three cards, now they play the game with four. But the concept is still the same. You still have that one odd card that you would have to follow. In this case, it's the Queen of Spades, and that would be deemed the money card. And of course, the jokers are just there to confuse you. Now, it starts off simple. Maybe the Queen starts off on the bottom, and the cards are just counted in the hands like this. Now, logic would tell you that the Queen should be on the top. But as soon as you bet your money on that card, you realize, well, that Queen's not on top. In fact, that Queen's not even on the bottom. It's still there in the center, as if the game didn't even begin. Now, a lot of times they'll try to make it seem like they're helping you out. Maybe they'll say, okay, I'll make it easier for you. Maybe by reversing that money card, leaving the Queen face up. Now, even if I cover that card with one of the jokers, as the cards get mixed, you can see the Queen is very easy to follow. That is until, of course, you bet money on it. Then you realize, well, maybe that Queen wasn't so easy to follow. And in fact, it doesn't really even matter where you look. Fronts, backs, that Queen will always escape you. Now, sometimes the bet may seem too good to be true, and they entice you by getting rid of two of the cards. Two cards left, 50-50 chance. Where's the Queen now? Now, if you remember, that Queen was face up to make it easier for you to follow. But I'll give you one extra tip. You see, a lot of these hustlers, they mark the back of the Queen. This way, when they shuffle the cards themselves, they always know with 100% certainty where that money card is at all times. It's a very subtle mark, but as soon as you know what to look for, you'll be able to spot it every single time. Now, you probably didn't notice that in the beginning until I pointed it out for you. So maybe you're thinking, well, they cheat and they use an extra Queen. And in fact, a lot of times they do use an extra Queen. But for the life of me, I can't really understand why. Because it really plays no role in the game at all.